Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/thebarn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thebarn.
Hello, my name is Jason Lowry.
And I'm Mark Toti.
And this is the Parkland Podcast.
It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. They got plenty to say. They got plenty of heart. On the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. Jason and Mark.
What a rock star, just like your brother.
No, I'm nothing like my brother. He has talent. I can belch the alphabet.
Hey, you know what? That is an impressive thing to do.
It's a skill set.
It is definitely a very unique skill set. Hey, this is episode 19 of the Parkland Podcast. And joining us today, we're going to visit with Linda Dickerson-Bell. She is with Habitat for Humanity of St. Francis County. We'll talk about that great program and a big fundraiser they have coming up. And Debbie Hamby and Lisa Umfleet will join us from Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy. They're going to talk about the pharmacy. I want to ask Debbie about some social media stuff so that we have a better social media page. And we're also probably going to talk to Lisa a little bit about Mineral Area College as well, as she is one of the trustees. Final homecoming weeks wrapped up this week in high school football. Had a great game at North County Friday night between the Raiders and the Windsor Owls. Plenty of news, all kinds of information, and cool stuff coming your way now on the Parkland Podcast. But we couldn't do it without our awesome sponsors. They are Parkland Pharmacy. Discover Farmington, save a lot of the Parkland, Subway of the Parkland, Heimberger Construction, Spokes Pub and Grill, and Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center. What'd you do this week, Mark Toti?
Had a great week. I emceed a trivia night on this past Saturday night for St. Paul's School. Went to a high school soccer game on Friday. It was kind of cool. Never been to a high school soccer game before, but it was kind of fun. And I don't know, just kind of hung out and did stuff.
That's good. That's good. I saw you walking downtown Farmington this past Friday. I was with a group of Farmington teachers. Brandon McIntyre, who's a history teacher at Farmington High School, does these periodic historic walks through downtown Farmington, checking out all the cool homes and learning about some of the neat stories there. And so we were walking as part of our professional development on Friday, and we saw you, and I actually made you speechless as I kind of fangirled you from across the street.
Yeah, enjoy that. It does not happen too long. I wanted to say something about, hey, are you all juniors this year at the high school? But it just couldn't come out. So I just kind of waved, smiled, and really just kind of kept walking.
I also got a chance this week to interview Ron Story. He was my PE teacher from kindergarten all the way through sixth grade, and he was, almost 40 years in the North County School District, Bonne Terre, Deloge, and he autographed this kickball. And if you're on the Barnes Facebook page, you could win one of these. So that was a lot of fun, and it was really cool, like seeing somebody that I looked up to when I was a kid so much, and that was so much fun. Do you remember any teachers like that, elementary style, that were just like, wow, they were so much fun?
No, not really. I think most of the teachers were just glad to get rid of me. But I remember Miss Williams because she was such a neat lady. I think she may have been 90 years old when I had her as a high school senior. And I still remember the time where it was about 2:00 and it was the last class of the day. And she says, "What time is it?" And somebody said 2:25. And she says, "School's going to be out in about 5 minutes. You can talk quietly among yourselves." And then she left and she came back in 20 minutes later and she says, "Who was the gentleman that said it was 2:25? And everybody pointed at one of my best friends, Phil. And she went and grabbed one of those big, long erasers, wiped off the entire blackboard, and came over and smacked him in the head 15 times with it. Turned his hair completely white. No coincidence, Phil turned gray about a year later. I mean, as a 20-year-old guy, he was gray, and I think that had to have something to do with it.
A traumatic experience.
Yeah. And this gal was about 5'1" and weighed about 90 pounds, and she beat the you-know-what out of him.
Oh, wow. Boy, if only teachers could do that today.
Yeah, she would have been on a watch list somewhere with that one.
Do you have a totally awesome radio story for us?
No, but you were going to share one about
yes.
the Dick Womack, I think.
Dick Womack. Oh, my gosh. Let me find that real quick.
Former general manager.
Yeah. Now, when did Dick come to work in at J98? You were there, right? When he came?
Yeah.
How did that all come about?
1991, 92. He took over for Tom Bear, who had left, and we were without a person for a while. And then Dick had worked at the Moberly store. Dick had a lot of interesting jobs in his life. In
yes, he
addition
did.
To radio. I guess he wouldn't be embarrassed by this.
Well, it's the truth, so go ahead and say it.
He sold bull semen.
Yeah, he totally did. And I mean, if you can sell that, you can sell anything, right?
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
Right,
yes.
right.
As long as he didn't have to produce it, that would be all right.
Oh, man. I'm going to take my time looking for this message now because this is leading to some real good podcasting stuff. I love it. But go ahead.
That's about all I got there, Dick. Dick came around about 1991 or 1992. I remember Gerald Shepard, who owned the station at the time, and he said he calls the Farmington station, and I pick up the phone, and he goes, "Mark, this is Gerald Shepard." And I said, "Hi, Mr. Shepard." He goes, "Yes, I called to talk to Dick, and he wasn't there. And I asked for Kevin, and he wasn't there. And I asked for Kirk, and he wasn't there. And then I asked for Kim, and she wasn't there. So since nobody's there, I thought I'd talk to you." Oh, thank you, Mr. Shepard. It's nice to know where I'm at in the pecking order here.
That's a really good impersonation.
That could be my totally awesome story for today, too.
But I found it, so let's go ahead and give it to you, although everything leading up to this has been probably better than the story. No. So following the 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Centers in New York City, J98, KRAI, and KJEF joined with the Farmington and Festus fire departments and created an event to raise money for the New York Backstoppers, who had lost 343 firefighters attempting to save people in the two buildings. The local fire departments in Farmington and Festus each brought their aerial ladder truck, raising the ladder to maximum height.
I know this story, by the way.
Okay, good. I remember this too. The ladders each flew a huge American flag. We had a tent at both ladders for broadcasting and to receive drive-by donations. A donor asked if they could climb a little way up the ladder. That simple request led to an unscheduled, full-fledged event. Did you lose your place? Somebody offered $100 for a climb to the top, and the firefighter said yes. Topside was high, nor solid like concrete steps. It swayed a bit and was getting tiresome about halfway up for most climbers. From memory, I believe one fireman made that trip with every donor. Mark Toti intended to make that climb. However, he got called down before reaching to do a broadcast report. He never made it back to the ladder, but 8th District Congresswoman Joanne Emerson came by in the afternoon. She and Toti had a long news relationship. He suggested she visit the ladder. She did, all the way to the top. Back down, but still atop the fire truck. Somebody told her Mark didn't get to the top. They may have forgotten to explain why.
Well, that's only a part of the story. I was on my way to the top of that ladder, and it really started shaking.
Yeah?
And I mean like an earthquake kind of shaking. And I looked down, and there was a Farmington fireman about 10 or 15 feet below me, and he was shaking the ladder like this the whole time. So I was like a little nervous, and I said, "Tom, would you stop that?" And he just started laughing at me, but then I got rattled, and I said, "I'm not going up any further."
Anyways, the event raised over $80,000, and I remember working that event as well at the Farmington location. I think I came in the evening time because you guys always
It was
handled
all
the
day
morning.
long.
Yeah,
it was great, though.
It was a really cool fundraiser, and again, everybody was, and I know people talk about this all the time, as a country, we were united, man, right after those events happened, and this was definitely one of those events that, kind of cemented that in my mind.
Yeah, it was a wonderful event. I wish there was never a need for stuff like that because
Right.
It was a sad day in our history, but it was fantastic to see people pull together that day.
Absolutely, and some firefighters having a little fun.
At my
your
expense, yes.
That is a totally awesome radio story. Save-A-Lots of the Parkland. They're in Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. And in addition to saving you money on your grocery bill, which we all need right now, they got a really cool promotion that they just started.
It's on their Facebook page. They are introducing Save-A-Lot Rewards. Download the new app to earn dots and save lots at participating locations. And there are all kinds of reasons to go to the Save-A-Lot Facebook page. I am on it right now, as a matter of fact. They invite you to stop by, check it out, and save on every day that ends in Y.
Oh, wow. I think that's every day.
That is
Every day.
day. Shop the dot with Save-A-Lot.
I love going to Save-A-Lot and checking out all the unique grocery items they have there. And the 5 for $24.99. Been trying to mix it up a little bit, but I always come back to the popcorn chicken and the chicken fries. I think my kids could eat that any day of the week that ends in Y. But I always am able to save money at my local Save-A-Lot store. And you can too. They're in Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. And they sponsor the Parkland podcast.
Thank you.
I love Spokes Pub and Grill. Remember that song?
I remember that song. I've lived that song.
Spokes Pub and Grill, a sponsor of the Parkland podcast. I know we went there last weekend for some karaoke. It was a great time. The
You
entertainment was
karaoke.
top-notch. Yes.
I sat there and watched.
Yes, you did. You watched a lot of great performances that night. But my goodness, Mark, the food at Spokes is unbelievable.
I have fallen in love with the fried chicken that they have on the menu at a Spokes Pub and Grill, and I absolutely love their mashed potatoes and gravy, and they have grilled veggies there that are just so good. Now, I also love the pork chops. The pork chops at Spokes are fabulous. They have a great steak sandwich. The catfish sandwich is unbelievable. It is so good. I guess what I'm saying is you can't go wrong whatever you order. The burgers are fantastic. And you can also substitute, if you like the burgers but you prefer chicken as your meat, you can substitute the chicken in for the burger. I think it might be $1 more. I'm not sure about that
Buck for
even.
$1, baby.
But I have done that a couple of times too. Love the food at Spokes Pub and Grill.
I panicked last Saturday when it came time to order because I was planning on pork chops and I was torn with pork chop, catfish sandwich, kept going back and forth. Server showed up. I go, give me the Mega Burger. which was still great.
Yeah,
still great. But yeah, I couldn't make a decision. But always a great time, and I guess I just need to go back again and try something else.
I know I will.
Spokes Pub and Grill, rolling good times, a sponsor of the Parkland Podcast.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
Time to check news now on the Parkland Podcast. The city of Farmington is offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in a recent park fire. According to a press release from the city, an act of arson occurred at Trimfoot Park over the past weekend. The bathroom at the park was extensively burned sometime between the afternoon of Friday, October 4th and the morning of Monday, October 7th. Anyone vandalizing city property will be prosecuted.
In addition, the city of Farmington is hoping to make paying utility bills a little easier. Beginning October 25th, customers will notice a change in the appearance of their bill. The online payment portal will also appear differently, but is still available at farmingtonmo.gov. All online payments must now include a customer identification or CID number and account number. Bills that are due before October 25th will not have a CID number listed on the bill. You can call the office to get that number. All bills due on October 25th or later will include a CID number on the bill. If you have questions, just give them a call at 756-2620.
A Deloge man and alderman will be making another reality show appearance this week. John Wigger will be returning to Forged in Fire. The episode will air on the History Channel Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. There'll be a watch party held at Ransom's in Deloge starting at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night.
Former Mineral Area College Board of Trustee member Harvey Faircloth, great guy, was honored at the last MAC board meeting. Faircloth became the first trustee emeritus after serving from 2005 to 2023. To be eligible, the person must have served at least 2 full 6-year terms as a trustee and cannot be a current board member.
The state of Missouri is helping clean up hurricane damage in Florida. Last week, Governor Mike Parsons ordered 100 Missouri National Guard members, along with members of the Highway Patrol and civilian staff, and 5 Missouri Disaster Medical Assistance teams to help with Hurricane Milton. This group includes several first responders from St. Francis County. The governor was also in Farmington recently to honor John Cozine and Cozine Memorial Chapel on their 160th anniversary. The event included presentations from the Farmington School District, as well as local and state officials, along with Governor Parsons making an appearance at the facility.
And the elections are right around the corner. No excuse early voting begins starting October 22nd. You can vote ahead of the November election Monday through Friday at the facility on Weber Road down from Catfish Kettle. And they are expecting a major voter turnout in St. Francis County.
And that's your news right here on the Parkland Podcast. Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center is a proud sponsor of the Parkland Podcast. They have been in our community since 1903, a long, long time, over 120 years. But I think the part that people maybe don't know about is this is a fantastic place to work, and they are still looking to fill a big position at their facility right now, Mark.
Yeah, they're looking for an advanced practice nurse to fill the position on their Southeast Regional Forensic Mobile Team. The position includes daytime travel, a flexible work schedule with remote work options available at a salary of $130,000 annually and tremendous benefits. The opening won't last long, so you definitely need to get your application in. All you have to do is apply with the Department of Mental Health by calling 573-218-6800 or go to dmh.mo.gov.
The state of Missouri is an equal opportunity employer. We celebrate diversity and are committed to creating an inclusive environment for all employees.
They said it couldn't be done. They said the world would never accept a cookie this long, or pretzel, and probably not a churro. They also said, under no circumstances should those really long and delicious treats be wildly affordable. Then we said, but we already made them, and they are. Introducing the incredible new foot-long sidekicks. Get one at Subway today.
Let's check the events page, brought to you by Discover Farmington. More than you ever imagined. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com allows you to find out more about entertainment, dining, outdoor activities, wineries, and more.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
Mom's Cafe offering up a free meal this Wednesday and every Wednesday at 5:30 at the Methodist Church in Farmington.
Don't forget about the Dine Out for the United Way program of St. Francis County. This week's restaurant is Pasta House in Farmington, and Thursday, lunch or dinner helps out the United Way.
Nancy Sylvie rocks, by the way. Fall family hay rides continue on Thursdays in October at Engler Park.
The Jack-O-Lantern Jamboree happens Saturday, October 19th from 4 to 11 o'clock at the St. Francis County Raceway.
There is a Roaring 20 celebration October 19th at Long Hall in downtown Farmington, starting at 7 o'clock. Tickets are $50 per guest.
Some blood drives coming up. We'll give you 3 of them. October 21st at the Farmington VFW, October 22nd at the Lincoln Street Events Center in Deloge, and October 24th at Parkland Chapel Church.
There's a trunk or treat at Deloge City Park, October 23rd, starting at 5 o'clock.
And check out the Cool Ghouls Night Out for the United Way of St. Francis County, happening on Thursday, October 24th, 5 o'clock at Twin Oaks Winery.
The CMO Family Violence Council will hold a trivia night Friday, October 25th at St. Paul Elementary Gym in Farmington.
The Stall or Treat Halloween Party at the Stables happens October 26th from 6 to 9 on Old Fredericktown Road.
The most spectacular TV theme song center event ever in the history of the universe, Saturday, October 26th, 7 p.m. at the Centene Center.
It's Baby Boomers, but TV theme songs. And an event starring our very own Mark Toti. Voices of the Past, the Downtown Cemetery Tour, Historic Cemetery Tour in downtown Farmington. You're in this, right?
Yes, I'm playing Howard Dubert Long.
You're the Doob.
Doobie.
Tell us a little bit about this event.
It's going to be taking place that night, and it'll start at the St. Francis County Jail. You'll get a little history lesson there, and they'll take you by the cemetery, and you'll visit with various people portraying historic figures from the past that all tie into the 100th anniversary of Long Hall.
And this is the totally free first come, first serve event, so check that out. And this is your events page presented by Discover Farmington. Again, go to discoverfarmingtonmo.com. You can find out about the wineries and all kinds of cool events. Even book a day trip or wedding. Discoverfarmingtonmo.com brings you the events page here on the Parkland Podcast. Heimberger Construction, heimbergerconstruction.com. Since 1978, they've been putting together fantastic buildings around the Parkland. You can see them, and they have a secret weapon when it comes to their buildings, and a fine organization that helps there.
Well, one of their secret weapons is Jennifer herself.
Right, yes.
She is awesome and amazing, but they also specialize in Butler buildings. They are the best metal building systems on the market, the only buildings that have a pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. And I am sure if you travel around the area, you're going to see a Heimberger-built building.
Mocap in Park Hills and Farmington, Griffin Automotive in Bonne Terre, Legacy Products in Bonne Terre, Paramount Glass, the expansion in Park Hills, Crown Valley Winery, just to name a few. Their website's beautiful, HeimbergerConstruction.com. Give Jenny a call today, 431-4387.
Good people to work with.
Let's do some birthdays and anniversaries now on the Parkland Podcast. Mark Toti, who are your birthday celebrators for Monday, October 14th?
Before we get to Monday, a couple of belated events. We want to say happy 14th birthday this past Wednesday to Gage Whitener. That's
Gage.
Jake's oldest.
Yes,
we got to wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
And also happy 38th wedding anniversary this past Friday to Craig Sutherland and his beautiful, oh so youthful looking wife, Miriam, who looks much, much younger than Craig. They celebrated their 38th anniversary this past Friday.
Great job.
But for Monday, we've got Randy Tate, longtime employee of the St. Francis County Sheriff's Department. He is now retired.
He used to drive me in a patrol car around every shop with a cop. He was always the guy that delivered the big guy, which was me.
He was one of Dan's right-hand man for many, many years. He's retired now. His wife, Shelley, has a honey-do list that's about this long, I think. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Karen Dietrich, the pride and joy of St. Paul Lutheran Church, and a good friend of both of ours, Kara Kane, celebrating a birthday as well.
Also want to wish a happy birthday to my buddy Lance Cross on Monday. Happy birthday, Lance. Hope it's a great day for you. I got a bunch of birthdays on Tuesday, October 15th. How about you?
Yeah, we are loaded on Tuesday. Former co-worker of ours, Casey Jokers.
Yeah.
I think she started off as an intern at the radio station and then became a part-time employee. She probably doesn't want me to say this, but I still remember the time she fell asleep during a Bids for Bargains auction, and we went for a break, and, we didn't go to break, and after about 30 seconds of dead air, I ran downstairs, and she was sleeping on the FM console, but...
she had a rough night the night before.
Yeah, but happy birthday to you, Casey, from us and from all of your family. She's really a wonderful girl.
She is.
Speaking of wonderful people, Jane Epstein celebrates a birthday, the First Lady of the University of Missouri Extension. She is such a sweetheart, such a nice human being. Happy birthday to you from your husband, from your daughter, and from all of your family and all your co-workers there at the Extension. Happy birthday to Nathan Davis. Happy birthday to you from your wife and your girls and your son. Nathan, hope you're doing okay. Happy birthday to Rob Stang. That's from your mom and dad, Dick and Debbie Stang, former owner of Spokes Pub and Grill, and your sister and your family, of course. Happy birthday wishes to you. Happy birthday wishes going out to somebody you probably know a little better than I do, but I've interviewed her a bunch of times on the radio, Amy Proffer.
Yeah, Amy Proffer and I graduated from North County way back in 1994 and doing great things with A1 Home Care. Have a great birthday, Amy. That's from your husband and all your kids and all your co-workers and everybody there at A1 Home Care. How about a guy that works with us, Mr. Mike Reeves?
The weather dude.
The weather guy, the sideline guy extraordinaire. He let me know that he waived his tropical depression fee that he could have charged for a couple of the ball games this year. But I know he's got big plans for this Tuesday. So happy birthday to you, Mike, from your wife and your kids, your grandkids, and all the dogs. They all wish you a very, very happy birthday.
First time I met Mike, he was an athletic director at a school down south where they were hosting the Black River League basketball tournament. I can't remember if it was South Iron or one of the other ones.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was an educator for a couple of years.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was a health teacher at Farmington Middle School for many, many years. So, that's really cool. Mike does a great job. And
we can get him on here sometime. He can talk weather.
You know what? I'm thinking right before the next big storm, like when we have like a big snowstorm, that's the guy we need to have. Absolutely.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Jim Osmond. Jim, the keyboard player of Medallion, still playing some music here or there. Happy birthday, Jim. Hope you have an awesome day. Natalie Durbin with the birthday on Tuesday, and Tim Files has a birthday as well. Happy birthday, Tim. How about Wednesday, October 16th?
Wednesday, one of the best people I know, former mayor, former city councilman, and maybe a mayoral candidate down the road again, Mitt Landrum, celebrating a birthday on Wednesday. Mitt, happy birthday to you. Such a good guy. He's done so much for the city of Farmington. Talk about your Lifetime Achievement Award winners. He would be a good one for that.
Yeah.
That's from Chris and from all the family. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Mark Matina, longtime employee of the city of Farmington and the fire department. Mark, happy birthday.
He wasn't one of the guys shaking the ladder, was he?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, we won't talk about that again. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Carly Anderson. She lives in St. Louis now, but she's a good Fredericktown girl, and I got to know her when she was a front desk girl at the Farmington Civic Center. She was always impressed by the intensity of my workouts. Okay, maybe not that impressed. But anyway, Carly, happy birthday wishes going out to you. Longtime viewer of the podcast, Jeremy Sutton, celebrates a birthday. Happy birthday to you, Jeremy. Patty DeLucia celebrates a birthday today. I've known Patty for, close to 35 years now. That's from your husband, Joe, and your girls. Her daughter, her oldest daughter, was actually... She was one of the Mickey Mouse
Mickey Mouse Club members?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she actually worked with Justin Timberlake.
And Britney Spears?
And Britney
Wow.
Spears. Very talented young lady.
Wow.
Got
She
all
was
their-
from Farmington? Or
No,
Oh,
they
okay.
lived up in your St. Louis area.
Okay. Still,
St. Louis
though,
area.
yeah.
But yeah,
We'll claim them.
Pretty cool. Patty, happy birthday to you. Make
Yeah.
Joe take you out somewhere nice on your birthday.
How about Harry Peterson, your American
Yeah.
Family Insurance agent?
Board member
In
of the United
Farmington.
Way of St. Francis County.
Yeah.
Good
And
guy. Going to be a
back-
dad again.
Yeah, congratulations. And I remember back whenever he was playing high school football for Farmington, somehow magically like these Steak and Shake chili would show up in the press box and CC's Pizza Brownies. So I remember the Harry Peterson days well. Co-worker in two of my jobs at Farmington High School and here on the Barn Podcast Network, Dawn Herbert, Mrs. Herbert, with a birthday on Wednesday. Happy birthday to Dawn. She has Bible Talk at the Barn, the podcast that comes your way every Sunday on the Barn Podcast Network YouTube channel. And probably one of my favorite co-workers of all time, still works at the Unitech Career Center where he is an instructor there, Mr. Jerry Willett. I love Jerry Willett. He is so much fun. We kind of share a sense of humor. I so much miss working with him. I always said that he was the best work wife I ever had, Mr. Willett. So happy birthday to you, buddy. How about Thursday, October 17th? Who are your birthday celebrators?
Well, speaking of one of your favorite people and one of my favorite people, Haley Baker.
Yes,
Celebrates
Coach Baker.
Thursday. She is so awesome. And how could she have had 5 kids? If you've seen her, she's like,
Oh, I know.
she's
And I saw all
thin as
5 of
can
her
be.
kids. Like Friday, she had a babysitter cancel on her, so she comes walking through the halls. I had to bring my kids. I was like, I know that's fine, but has all those kids and all those volleyball kids. I mean, all of her former players look up to her so much, and she does a great job with the Farmington volleyball team and the PE classes too.
When she was a senior graduating from North County High School, she tried out, auditioned to be the Country Days queen. She made it to the final 3, and I can still remember being on stage, and she was right on my left, and they asked a final question, and Haley hesitated for about 5 seconds, and then she finally gave an answer. And in a real soft voice, she whispers in my ear. Well, I think I pretty much wrapped up second runner-up with that answer. Still one of the funniest, most favorite moments I have from all my years of doing country days, and especially the Queen pageant. Haley, you're awesome.
Happy birthday.
And happy birthday to Chelsea Braun Dodds.
All right.
Yeah, good Farmington girl living in the Columbia area now. That's from your sister and from all your family.
How about Tiffany Gallagher? She's the executive director at the College for the Council on the Arts, and also a part of the other theater organizations there. Tiffany does a great job. Joe Pott, a friend of mine who does St. Louis Cardinal pre- and post-game show, former voice of the, what was the team in Sauget, the Gateway Grizzlies.
Yeah. And wasn't he in that movie, Meet Joe Pott?
No, that was Meet Joe Black.
Or Meet Joe Dirt. Either one.
Anyways, happy birthday, Joe. Hope you have an awesome birthday. Sarah Matthews with a birthday on Thursday. And my old buddy, Brian Dunlap. Hello there, Dunny. Happy birthday to you, a true Deloge legend, Brian Dunlap. What about Friday, October 18th?
Friday, we're going to start off by talking about a Parkland Podcast Hall of Famer, your good friend and mine, someone we've both known for over 25 years, yet barely looks 25 years old, and that would be the one and only Teresa Bauman.
Happy birthday, Teresa. Hope you had an awesome time at the Eagles concert. I can't believe you got Paul to take you, and you do such a good job representing us out in the public. And if you would like to have us speak as fondly of you as we do Teresa, give Teresa a call and you can advertise on the Parkland Podcast.
Lots of birthdays on Friday. Kim Leftridge celebrates birthday. Boy, if she is one of my 2 or 3 favorite cooks of all time.
Absolutely.
She can flat out cook a meal. She's kind of retired now, but that's okay. Kim, I know she's staying in good shape too. She goes over to her daughter's gym and works out all the time. So happy
I was
birthday.
always perplexed at how Michelle was able to stay skinny because, you know, she grew up on Kim's cooking, you know. had you know, things worked out and I would have been Kim's daughter, I probably would have not looked like Michelle. Well, anyways, that's another story for another day, right?
Yeah, we'll leave that one alone.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy birthday, Kim, from
birthday,
all
Kim.
of your family. Hey, speaking of people that can serve you up some good food, Kurt Hobbs celebrates a birthday. He helps manage Jimmy John's in Farmington.
Yes, that's right.
Had Domino's Pizza before that. Kurt, happy birthday wishes to you. My buddy Chad Doogie, happy birthday wishes to you, Chad. That's from your sister Shannon over at Pasta House in Farmington, and your twin girls who were really good volleyball players for Farmington a few years ago. Chad's a good dude. Mindy Marks, who used to work at J98
Mindy.
Radio.
She was my dance partner in high school in swing choir.
Lucky you.
I know, right?
Lucky you. Mindy, happy birthday wishes
happy birthday,
going out
Mindy.
to you. Bean Kurtz, Lutheran Teen of the Year at St. Paul Lutheran Church a few years back. Happy birthday to you. And Cheryl Weibel, 2-time Lutheran of the Year at St. Paul Lutheran Church, celebrating a birthday as well. Happy birthday to you, Cheryl.
Kelly Koitzer with a birthday on Friday. Happy birthday, Mrs. Koitzer. State Representative Chris Dinkins with a birthday on Friday. Happy birthday to you, Chris. Kurt Prather no longer lives in the area, but very talented artist from our area and keeps up to date by checking out the Parkland Podcast from time to time. Happy birthday, Kurt. Hope it's a great day for you. And Kim Wilkinson of Deloge celebrating a birthday today on Friday. Happy birthday, Kim. How about Saturday, October 19th? Who are your birthday celebrators there?
Saturday, our buddy Brian Boyd celebrates a birthday today. Happy birthday to you.
I
your
just
wife.
stood up straight just hearing his name.
Oh my gosh, he's not. I don't know if he's as tall as John.
No, but he's close.
He's big and thick. I'm telling you, he's Mr. Boyd. If you get him mad at you, happy birthday to you, Brian. I hope you're doing great. Leanna Stover celebrates a birthday. I know we interviewed Linda Dickerson-Bell about her Habitat for Humanity fundraiser. Her and her husband, Greg, are always there every year volunteering and working for that. That's also from your son, Jesse, who's been on the radio with me a few times.
Cool.
Happy birthday to you. Jeremy Lynn celebrates a birthday today. He has one of the best nicknames ever. His nickname is Big Mix. And I don't know if you know Jeremy, but you know his brother, Chad Lynn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They
That's
call
his
what was the
brother.
nickname again?
Big Mix.
Big Mix?
Yeah, Jeremy.
Like M-I-X?
Yeah, he's about 6'8".
Wow.
Yeah, good dude though. Good
So
dude.
Chad's the runt.
Well, don't tell Chad that though.
Ah, very good.
And last but certainly not least, one of my great friends for many years now, Michelle McBride. Happy birthday to you, Michelle. You are wonderful. You are awesome. You are fantastic. You are superb. And those are your bad points. We don't have enough time to get into all your good ones. Happy birthday from Randy, from your 2 kids, and all your beautiful grandkids, and also from Jennifer Heimberger,
Yeah.
another good friend of all of ours. We get together every now and then, and we'll have a dinner or something like that. Happy birthday, Michelle.
How about Sunday, October 20th?
Just a couple of birthdays to pass along. Amanda Helton, happy birthday to you from your family. Her daughter just graduated from Farmington High School in the past year or so. And Buck Copeland, celebrating
Buck.
birthday Sunday. He kind of helps keep things running for St. Francis County government.
Oh, Buck does a lot, trust me. And happy birthday to John Nichols, Mr. Nichols' son, John Nichols, a big part of that robotics program at Unitech Career Center. Happy birthday, John. Hope it's a great one for you. Those are your birthdays and anniversaries here on the Parkland Podcast. Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center is a proud sponsor of the Parkland Podcast. They have been in our community since 1903, a long, long time, over 120 years. But I think the part that people maybe don't know about is this is a fantastic place to work, and they are still looking to fill a big position at their facility right now, Mark.
Yeah, they're looking for an advanced practice nurse to fill the position on their Southeast Regional Forensic Mobile Team. The position includes daytime travel, a flexible work schedule with remote work options available at a salary of $130,000 annually and tremendous benefits. The opening won't last long, so you definitely need to get your application in. All you have to do is apply with the Department of Mental Health by calling 573-218-6800 or go to dmh.mo.gov.
The state of Missouri is an equal opportunity employer. We celebrate diversity and are committed to creating an inclusive environment for all employees.
Hey, it's Mark Toti here, and you know there's no better place to watch the big game than Spokes Pub and Grill in Farmington. Chris and Dina Spence invite you out to enjoy the great menu and the fun atmosphere that Spokes always provides. For me, I love the burgers. The catfish sandwich is amazing. The pork chops are awesome. They have huge salads, and you should always leave room for dessert when you go to Spokes. Check out their Facebook page to see when your favorite band is performing. And as always, for rolling good times, it's Spokes Pub and Grill right off Highway 67 in Farmington.
Let's talk some sports now here on the Parkland Podcast. Our Parkland Sports Live Game of the Week, the best game around the area from week number 7. The North County Raiders come away with a 14-12 win over the Windsor Owls, but dadgummit, Mark, 30 seconds left to go in the game. North County's got a 14-6 lead, and the computer mysteriously stops working as Windsor scores a touchdown. North County stops the 2-point conversion to come away with the victory. And amid all the computer programs, we did get a great recording post-game with North County Raider head football coach Brian Jones.
Coach, I've watched a number of games in recent years, high school level. I've seen a lot of different things. This one was unique on all kinds of levels. Just your general take on the game to start off with, then we'll get into some of the details.
Well, we come out and did exactly what we wanted, marched down the field and scored, and then they kind of, got them off the field defensively, and went back down the field and put together a nice drive, and had a unfortunate situation down there, and then after that point it was fight and claw all the way to the end.
Was it a game that you expected them to be able to do what they did on the ground game, or did you expect that your defense would be able to step up a little more? But on your defense's credit, they had to work really hard to get what yards they did get. Just how did you kind of analyze that?
I expected 100% what we saw tonight, and apparently I'm the only one that expected it, and the coaching staff, because nobody wants to listen. We got a lot of film on these guys. We got their first week, and we got probably I think weeks 3, 4, and 5, and maybe 6 leading in. So we had a lot of film on them. One thing you notice is that they got better every week, and you try to convey that to the kids, and they want to listen to people that don't watch any film, and they want to form their own opinions, and then they got their heads in the clouds, and they with all the distractions we've had this week, and like I told them in the huddle there, I'm glad we got the win, but that's about the only thing there is to be positive about tonight.
I know you weren't very happy at the half. Did any of the stuff you didn't like at the half get better in the second half?
Well, at times, and then and then we lose control of our emotions, or we get our eyes in the backfield, and we give them opportunities that keep them in the game. So at times we played really well, and then but we're inconsistent, and that's not something. If you're inconsistent in week 7, it's we got too good a teams in front. We got too many good teams in front of us to not be playing steady every snap.
I'm going to guess that we should have expected nothing less, given that you've talked to us about it. It's just been every week, every day, every time that you take the field, it is a battle, and you got to gut things out. And I guess there's something to be said for gutting it through and having 4 wins at this point, because nothing's come easy this year for the Raiders. Let's say that.
I told them after the Raleigh game, I said, this is kind of life for most of us. Most of us, our lives are just. I don't want to turn it into that we're always struggling, but there's always highs and lows in most of our lives. There's not too many of us that are, walking around, in rainbows and sunshine all the time. And if there's a life lesson here, it's just to persevere. So that's what these guys did tonight. They fought to the end. We got 2 huge stops on 2-point tries that obviously was the difference in the game. And in the end. Our defense, when it really, 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 really mattered, they rose to the occasion.
Wrap it up with this. Did you like what your team did when you had the football, although you had it very limited number of minutes tonight? Did you do some of the things you liked, or is there some things that you'd like to see different there?
No, I think we did a pretty good job executing the game plan and doing what we had hoped to do against these guys. I think we stayed to the game plan, probably maybe better than we have a couple of games earlier on, and kind of the kids, the kids worked hard offensively, and we were able to capitalize a couple times on some third downs, especially that the second half, and ultimately it made a difference.
Always a pleasure, sir. Good luck moving forward.
Appreciate you guys, Mike. Thanks a lot.
We also spoke with the head coach of the Windsor Owls, Lee Freeman.
You get a night-to-night coach these are unofficial, but you pretty much doubled them up in terms of time and possession. You ran the ball very well. You took care of business, made plays when you had to, but at the end of the night, you're 2 points short of the scoreboard. How do you kind of analyze tonight, and what do you take from it?
Well, with our football team being as youthful as we are, in North County being an established program that's it's been consistent for a long time. I got a lot of respect for Coach Jones and his players. They always play hard. He's always got a good game plan, and we knew what the challenges were. And I think that I feel really good about our players and their response to the game tonight, and how they handled a little bit of adversity at times. And I think that we're just we're kind of seeing our guys mature and grow up in real time, and sometimes those lessons are hard learned, and we had opportunity to tie it up there at the end and come up a little bit short, and those are breaks of the game. That's kind of what those are things that happen, but as far as the things that we were able to do tonight successfully, I'm proud of the effort of our kids. I'm proud of our coaches. I think other than the result on the scoreboard, there's a lot of positive things here to look at.
We were, the guys in the booth, myself down here at the sideline level, really impressed with, I called it patience, that no matter what the situation was, your kids stayed composed. They seemed like, we're okay with this. If we have to take a little bit of time, we take it. And your staff, I think, had the same thing. How tough is that for a younger group of kids to have that? And it's kind of a belief in a system too, just to say, hey, this is how we're going to do it. But we were very impressed with it. Do you see the same things?
I do, and I've seen it get better the last couple of weeks. We've had a few hiccups here and there with our team, but we have a really young coaching staff too. So I'm probably not the most seasoned fella out there, and I make my own share of mistakes and things like that. But I'm proud of the coaches, and I'm proud of our kids because we preach to them, play the next play. It doesn't matter what the result of the last play was. We have to go forward and move on. And such is life. Sometimes you take your lumps and you move forward, and then you deal with the aftermath later sometimes. But like I said, it is part of our system. It's part of how we're coaching these guys and kind of what we're teaching throughout the program. And I will say this: it's nice to be noticed because people that watch football, people that know football, I hope they see that, because that's part of changing culture, and that's part of changing a program, and that's just, fortunately and unfortunately, it's kind of where we are.
In terms of the final 2-point conversion play, just between you and your coaches and what you care to share, how much thought went into maybe throw the ball on this effort instead of run it? Was the thought there?
Not at that point in time. We believe in our fullback. He's a tough kid, Logan Wilson, and we wanted to try to put the ball in his hands. And unfortunately, we were just a little bit tight on that play. But he's going to feel horrible about it. He knows that was kind of his shot, and he didn't do anything wrong. That's the thing about it is North County makes a good play, and tip your cap to him, because at that point in time they were a little bit more physical. So. It's just one of those things, and unfortunately, you got to learn a lesson the hard way as a staff and as a player and as a team and kind of as a community.
Wrap it with this, because I know you spent some time with the group after the game. What was their general demeanor? Because I could see kids being, oh my gosh, we played so hard and we didn't win. But I could also see them saying, wow, we're taking some steps. Did you sense either one of those just in that short time that you had with them?
Well, I think the one thing that I'm starting to see from our kids is that after some of these tough losses that they've had, you start to see some wet eyes, and that to me, as a coach, means that they're investing. And when they're investing, things sting, things hurt when they don't go your way, and so when you pour your heart and guts into everything over the week, and you only get one shot. It's not like basketball or baseball. You play a team 2 or 3, 4 times, and you get one shot every season, and then you have to live with it. So they understand they're starting to understand the impact and the importance of those things, and that's good to see. And I think that they're taking coaching very well right now, and I think that they are learning and they're maturing and they are improving. Even if the scoreboard doesn't say that.
It's been a while, but good to see you again, and I do wish you the best moving forward. Last couple of weeks of the season and into district, best of luck to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Again, North County gets the victory in the Parkland Sports Live game of the week, 14-12.
In other high school football from this past Friday, Valley Catholic continues to impress, 50-0 over Central.
It was the Cape Central Tigers giving Farmington a tough ball game as Cape wins it 54-14.
St. Genevieve took on a game Fredericktown squad and won 35-19.
Pacific defeats Potosi 42-21.
It was DeSmet over Festus 42-13.
Giving the Tigers their first loss. Hillsborough takes care of DeSoto 35-17.
Perryville put up 49 on Marquette, winning 49-14.
And the other team from Perryville, St. Vincent, remains undefeated, a 49-16 win over the Wildcats of Cuba.
Turning to Mineral Area College sports, congrats to the MAC golf team on winning the MAC Fall Invitational.
Mark, before you know it, basketball season is going to be here, and both the men and women's programs getting underway on November 1st.
Yeah, they'll be taking on, the MAC men will take on John A. Logan at the Three Rivers Classic, and the women will take on Vincennes in the Moberly Classic.
And also want to give a shout out to some of our SEMO Red Hawk football players. These are players that we covered locally that are now making big contributions for that first place team. We record before their Saturday game, but we want to give a shout out to SEMO Red Hawk football players Andrew Civey and Nolan Reed from North County, Judd Cunningham, who played for both Farmington and Festus, Peyton Brown from Hillsboro, Cole Rubel from Seckman, and there's a few more local athletes sprinkled in on that SEMO roster as well. And they're having a great year.
They're having a good year and a lot of local products there. A lot of reasons to really support SEMO.
Yeah, you look at the roster, it's like 90% Missouri. So that's really, really cool. So good job with everything going on there at Cape. We'll have high school football coming up for you this Friday night. The 6-1 Festus Tigers will take on the 4-3 Farmington Knights. It'll be senior night at Farmington as the Tigers and the Knights do battle on Parkland Sports Live. Discover Farmington is more than you ever imagined. Their website is discoverfarmingtonmo.gov, and that is a great source of events, different things happening in the area. You're going to be involved in one of these events. What are you doing for Discover Farmington?
Yeah, they're going to have the 100th anniversary of Long Memorial Hall coming up at the end of this month, and they've got a number of people from throughout the community that will be portraying voices from the past, people who have had a history in Farmington. And I'm Howard Long, who Long Memorial Hall is named after.
Yeah, very,
My nickname
very cool.
is Doobie.
Doobie. That do be cool. Also, they have the big Roaring 20s celebration. That's a little bit sooner on Saturday, October 19th at Long Memorial Hall. Tickets still remain for that. And I know they're also sponsoring the most spectacular TV theme song concert event ever in the history of the world/universe on Saturday, October 26th at the Centene Center. And again, go to the website, Discover Farmington, find out about all the neat things happening around the area and all the unique events and businesses we have here. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com, more than you've ever imagined.
Hi, Kristen.
Parkland Pharmacy, local pharmacy at its finest. Cool T-shirts and swag and basketballs and warmies and skinny syrups, and very, very needed at this time because we are getting ready to roll into cold and flu season.
They are right in the midst of handing out flu shots, and they've got the COVID updates that they can provide you as well. And coming up in November for you Medicare folks, you've got Judy Boring that can help you find the right plan for you. They are all about local at Parkland Pharmacy. Whichever location you decide to go to, you will love the customer service, you will love the people, and you will love the products.
And you will love how much better you feel thanks to everything available at Parkland Pharmacy. Again, they're in Deloge, they're in Farmington, Fredericktown, Ironton, Piedmont, and Greenville. ParklandRx.com. Parkland Pharmacy, fine sponsor of the Parkland Podcast. Going to talk Habitat for Humanity now on the Parkland Podcast. Joining us, the executive director of this organization in St. Francis County, Linda Dickerson-Bell. So good to see you. How are you, young lady?
I'm wonderful. How about you?
Oh, man, fantastic. Mark and I talking before the interview started, letting Morgan, our executive producer, know that there's guests that we talk about that are so good, so organized that we could just walk away after we introduce them.
Please don't.
We won't do
Who
that.
will I talk to?
I guess that's true. But you do such a great job promoting this organization. How long have you been with Habitat now?
Since 2008, so it's been a little while, a couple of years. So loving it there. Actually, before that, I was on the board as a founding member as well, trying to help them out getting it started. So it started in 1998. I took the position as the full-time executive director in 2008, and here we are in 2024.
So when you took the job in 2008, did you say, yeah, I'll do this for the next 20 years or so?
I really didn't know, and my husband still asks me every day, when are you considering retiring? And I absolutely have no interest in retiring at this point because I love what I do. So as long as I can do it, I'm going to do it.
And it's easy to love what you do
That's
because you see so much positiveness.
It
don't you?
is, yes. Yeah. And as long as I can do it and do it well. If there's a time when I can't do it a good job for them, then obviously. But yeah, it's just a positive organization. It's getting to help people out. And speaking of yesterday, we had a closing, and I think that was one of the most precious closings that we've ever had. Our family that we constructed the house for was in Bonne Terre, mildly mentally challenged, mother, father, 2 children, all mentally challenged, and the graciousness of what we were able to do with them, and they see that we did it for them. They just thanked me, hugged me, loved me, and that's not what you have to do to get a habitat house, but it certainly helps out whenever.
Doesn't hurt, does it?
It doesn't. No, it was precious, and even the people at the title company said this made my day. So.
How many homes have you built in St. Francis County?
So with Habitat for Humanity, we're on house number 33 and starting construction of number 34 in Farmington. But with myself, I'm probably over 200 homes with the work that I did with East Missouri Action Agency prior to that, and then just other organizations that we've helped out.
So the newest addition coming to Farmington, how spread out in the St. Francis County community are these homes?
So we can spread them out as much as we need, mostly inside city limits, and mostly because of insurance, taxes, those kinds of things, and also able to get volunteers there. Makes it a little bit harder. We did one time build a house in Leadwood, and it was a little difficult. Gas was over $4 a gallon, and it was really hard to get people over there to help us out. Not that we wouldn't do another one in Leadwood, but it's really where the need is, and that particular family had children that were already established in that school district. That's where they wanted to be. We'd never done it. We gave it a try. Worked out great. Ended up being a pretty nice house over there, 4 bedrooms, 2 bath with a full walkout basement. They're happy. They've improved their lifestyle. He's got a full-time job as a supervisor now, and he just is so gracious. As a matter of fact, he came in yesterday and paid November's house payment, so that's always wonderful.
Linda, one thing you always like to point out about this program, it's not a handout.
It's not. We are not doing it for them. We're doing it with them, and that's the number one thing that you have to do as far as criteria for qualifying is that you have to be willing to partner. And that being said, you have to do 500 hours of minimum. Now, we don't say 500, and when you're done at 500, it's done, because if the house isn't completed, then you continue to work just like we do. But it's a minimum of 500 hours, and we honestly just do not have an issue with that because people are excited to be a part of what it is that we're doing with them. So.
Talk about the volunteer opportunities. I know that Farmington sends over a group of kids, I think almost weekly.
Mondays and Wednesdays
every
week. Yeah. It's
anybody, any organization can put together a time and come out and work, right?
Absolutely. So it limits me being able to be in the office to do the other things that we are needing to do. With that said, we try to limit to a couple of days a week, but we currently have Farmington coming out on Mondays and Wednesdays. North County School District just reached out to me with their JAG program, and they want to consider having a day either weekly. We're going to try it out once on October 30th. They're going to help us out setting up our fundraiser that's coming up. Excuse me, which we don't want to forget to talk about.
Yeah.
But they're going to help us set that up, and they're just super, super excited about coming out and getting the opportunity to do that, and just, being able to be involved. And I think Mark has seen this, and I know, Jason, you have too, but you'll have kids that you'll encounter that will 10 years down the road say, I built that house, so they take ownership in it as well, and that makes me proud.
So in addition to just like a general volunteering of your time, if there are people out there with a certain skill set, electrician or whatever, I know you really want to use their capabilities.
Absolutely, 100%. My husband is an electrician, and he's been the one person that has been my go-to that we've leaned on a lot. So he's helped us out with a lot. Meyer Electric has helped us out with a lot. The IBEW helps us out. But yeah, specifically finish carpenters seems to be something that you either have a knack for or you don't. And we love to have that, because that's an opportunity we would love to teach our younger kids, because that's something that's just not being taught anymore. The same as plumbing. There are some things that we contract out, and that's usually roofing. We don't put kids on the roofs. It's just not a safe thing. Plumbing, electrical, occasionally we do a lot of that ourselves. But HVAC, that's something that we like to contract out as well. But if we had somebody that came to us and said, hey, I have the knowledge, I have the patience, that's the number one thing that you need. But I'd like to come out and teach these kids, because you're not only teaching the kids, you're teaching us so that we can teach the kids forward. And we would welcome that.
Before we get to your fundraiser, one other thing I want to make sure we touch on too is the new Restore.
Yes.
My, you have such a great location
We
now.
have a wonderful location. We have a wonderful building. So far, our roof doesn't leak, so that's great. That's something that we're not used to. That you can actually flush the utilities, and they actually go where they're supposed to go.
All right.
So that's a plus. Yes, we're super excited to be there. It's an opportunity that I really never thought we would have. Reached out to the landlord, said I'm probably wasting your time, shouldn't even come and look at it. I know we can't afford it. She told me what the rent was. I went ahead and looked at it anyway, and lo and behold, they called me in a couple of days and said there's something on my heart that says you should be there. And I said I'm with you. I've been saying this for the last year. And they made us an opportunity that we simply could not refuse. We're in a graduated lease, so as we earn more, we pay a little bit more and rent it as we should. But in the meantime, they're allowing us to be there, and we're super excited to be there. Our sales have tripled, I will say at least tripled, and we're just gracious. It's at 3412 Rosner Road, and that's in Park Hills, Missouri, inside the old Mueller's Ace Hardware. And there's still so many people out there that doesn't realize that Mueller's Ace Hardware isn't there, but that's okay. Come in looking for something from Mueller's, realize we're there, they stick around, so that's great. And that's not a store you can just go to once and be like, it's not my thing. That's a store you need to visit weekly, monthly, because it changes daily. So please give us a second opportunity if you've been there first, and especially if you've been to our old location. You'll be super impressed with the new one.
So go ahead.
If somebody's got, maybe
Items?
they did a project and items, how does the item drop-off work?
So you can drop those off anytime we're open. We're open Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and we're open 2 Saturdays a month, and that's from 9 to 2. And you can drop those off at our location. The only things that we don't accept, and obviously anything that you bring us, we ask that please be in good and usable condition, but we cannot accept clothing, and we cannot accept mattresses. But other than that, we'll take your knickknacks, your half sheets of plywood or lumber that you've cut off, you just needed a piece of it. You'll be amazed at the number of people that need to do a drywall patch. So we'll take those as well. But yeah, furniture, appliances, knickknacks, glassware, you name it, we've got it. The old CDs, record players.
Oh, really?
Yes, we have a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. We try to limit also not the big, huge tube televisions because those aren't
Yeah.
anything that really anybody wants anymore. Cost us to get rid of. But walking through our store, I can just easily say we've got a plumbing aisle, a siding aisle, electrical aisle, a miscellaneous aisle, windows, doors, furniture, appliances. Like I said, you name it, we got it.
Well, Linda, I want to talk about the big fundraiser you have coming up on Friday, November 1st. It's something near and dear to our hearts.
Right, and you go right ahead and talk about it, Mark,
Oh,
because you're just as versed in it as I am.
I'm just the voice. You are the brains.
Well, I don't know. We might be in trouble, yeah. That is held Friday, November the 1st. It's the 17th year that we've been doing it, but our 15th annual, we had to miss 2 years due to COVID. But with that being said, it's located at the White Magnolia Reception Hall, which is under Keenly Bridal, formerly known as Special Memories. That is in Leadington. We've just got a great lineup. It's a wonderful opportunity just to come out, mingle, have fun. It's $35 in advance, $45 at the door. We currently have St. James Winery and Brew House coming to join us, Overboard Charcuterie and Catering, Chalmette Vineyards and Winery, the Clubhouse Events and Catering, the Joyful Tree House Company, the Farmer's Daughter, and we have Sugar Fire Smokehouse, Sweet Designs by Sav, the Rolling Dumpling Pot, the Blue Bakery, and then we still have a couple of people that are pending out there that may want to join us as well. And if you'd like to join us, please give me a call at 573-760-1702. We're currently taking vendors that would like to come out and either bring wine, beer, food, spirits, whatever it is. And then also if you'd like to buy a ticket, again, reach out to me, 760-1702.
And in addition to all that great food, you get to hear not only music, and I guess is Paula going to talk about her experience with Habitat as well?
We've asked her to do that several times. The acoustics in the building don't really lend to it, especially when you get 300 to 400 people in there. You can ask Mark. He and I have a sore throat by the end of the evening.
Yeah, unless you've got a big mouth like me.
But if you'd ask Paula, she would 100% tell you about her experience. She was recently able to pay off her home, so she's no longer a Habitat homeowner, but once you are, you always are. But I can just recall the conversation that I had with her when she was paying that off. She's like, I almost feel guilty doing it because so many people helped me. And I was like, no, we never want you to feel guilty. This is why we do what we do. So the fact that you were able to improve your lifestyle, sell that house, and now she's building a new home. So that's something that we're very proud to be a part of.
So Tyler Smith and Paul LaFranc Booyer will be there. Shannon Cox, too.
Yes.
That guy's a legend, right?
He is a legend, yeah, and he's coming to join us as well. So there'll be a great lineup. There shouldn't be any time that you can't dance if you want to. You can eat, you can have fun, you can drink, you can have a silent auction. We hope that you will. We'll have a photo booth, and I can tell you that gets more popular as the evening goes by. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Will you be doing a live auction again this year?
We will be doing a live auction. We're not exactly sure of the items that we have, so we are still currently taking items for silent and live auction items, and we'll have James Morgan that'll be doing that for us. He's a board member for Habitat. We'll do a wine pull. That's something where you come in and you pay, I think it's $5. You pull a little cork off of the thing, and then that matches up to a bottle of wine that you win. And those average, it's at least $5 for the wine, but it can go up to $200 for a bottle of wine that you're able to purchase for a $5 chance.
Wow. Any chance for maybe a business that wants to sponsor? Can they still get in?
100%, yes, yeah.
Okay.
We still have sponsorships available, and those start at $3,500 and they go down to $1,000. And then again, just make sure you get your tickets. This is an event that is typically sold out. With that being said, you can still purchase a ticket at the door. You just may not have a seat to sit down, but it's not an event that you really have to sit down at anyway. So.
You can buy all the wine you want for yourself, but it's also, with it being in November now, great way to get birthday
Stocked
gifts,
up.
Christmas gifts, things like that.
That's right, yes, and that's what we want you to do, because that's how the wineries make anything, by coming and participating with us, because all of the wine that you taste that evening, they provide to us free of charge, so yes. And the same way with the food vendors, they don't get anything because they don't have an opportunity to sell that evening. But they do get an opportunity to book your parties, just like you said, Mark, all of your upcoming holiday events. And we often have our vendors tell us that they can book their entire year from this event.
Good.
So that's great. You've got your
Wow.
bankers, your lawyers, all of those people who are hosting parties and throwing events. So.
And again, this happens Friday, November 1st at the White Magnolia Reception Hall underneath Keenly Bridal. Special Memories is the former name of that facility. And Jamie, keeping with the tradition
That's
of
right.
helping out with this cause, she does a great job there as well.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without
But
them.
not just her, so many volunteers, people that have been a part of this event for years and years, right?
Yeah, it's down to a fine art now, where they just know when it is, and I just tell them to show up and help me out, and that's what they do. And I have them reaching out to me, don't forget me, I want to help you. And that's always great, because if I didn't reach out to you, it's not because I didn't want your help, it's because I did forget. So.
And it's kind of casual and kind of dressy all at the same time. You'll see
Right.
people there with a suit and tie on. You'll see blue jeans there.
That's right. Yeah. And you come as you are, and just come out and enjoy yourself. We try to do it always the Friday after work, because we feel like a lot of people are super busy on the weekends, and the last thing that you want to do, if you choose to, is to have to get dressed up and go do something Saturday night. So we do it always the first Friday in November, and again this year it's Friday, November the 1st, and it is at the White Magnolia, which is there in Leadington. It's just a great centralized location, all on one floor. We used to originally started it at the factory. Loved that building. It was a beautiful building, but having to carry all of the stuff upstairs and all of the stuff downstairs. So I have to say I do love this location. And we 100% love that Jamie, she always helps us out tremendously. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Glenda Strawn.
Oh, yeah.
Because while she's still not there, she is there. She's the kind of lady that does not know how to retire, and I'm
Nope.
thankful for that. But she's also helping us out with a dessert auction. So if you've got something you'd like to
man.
bake, or we would like for you to give us a call at 760-1702, or reach out to Glenda, and you can donate an item and we'll raffle it off. And most of the time you don't even make it home with it, because people realize what you got and they're chewing on it before you get out the door. But so if you don't want
I've
to
seen it
share
happen.
Yeah, if you don't want to share it, I suggest you take it to your car.
Yeah, right away. We talked about the Restore. We talked about the event. What else is going on with Habitat for Humanity?
Building houses?
Yeah,
I guess
how's
we
that
should
going?
talk a little bit about that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
going great. We're back at the house full-time in Deloge, so the neighbors are excited to see us. They felt like we stuck a house up there and then just kind of walked away and left it, and we kind of did, because we were trying to utilize a group of volunteers that we had. So we started construction of a house while we had a group to do that, got it under roof, locked up the doors, walked away, but now we're back there full-time. So we're currently hanging drywall. Farmington High School's been out there helping us with that. Last Monday, something happened that's never happened. We had a truck show up with 120 sheets of drywall, and we had about a group of 12 kids, one young lady, and I did not touch one sheet of drywall. I didn't have to. Those kids were amazing. They jumped right on it. It was kind of a task, and they did it with art. Didn't break one sheet. That's unheard of as well.
Yeah.
They usually pick it up and break it in the middle, but that was a wonderful group, so didn't touch it.
You also are always looking for possible locations for future homes.
We
too.
are, yes. If you have a lot and you'd like to get rid of it, and a lot of people will come across, they'll have a misfortune of maybe their house is burned down and they're left with the property that they can't really afford to get rid of it because it can cost $10,000 to $20,000 to tear a place down. If you are in that situation, first and foremost, I'm sorry about that. But secondly, if we could help you out, and obviously it has to be something that we could rebuild on, but if we could help you out, give us a call, because we have great donors who could come in and they would help us tear it down. Now, they wouldn't do it for an individual, obviously, but they would help us tear it down, so it might be feasible for you to donate it to us. And then I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention the tax credits that we utilize sometimes for those events, so that if you are in a position and you could use a tax credit, we have tax credits available that are worth about 55% of your donation. So say you make a $1,000 donation to Habitat, you can get $555 credit towards your state income tax. If that's something you can benefit from, give me a call. I'd love to help you out in doing that.
Big Saturday work days, I guess get a hold of the office or check the Facebook page to find out about those?
Either or, both. You can give me a call. You can also reach out to me. Again, 760-1702 is the office number, but it's always forwarded to my cell, so you can reach me most any time, preferably not 2 or 3 in the morning. But if you do, it is what it is, and I'll call you back when I get up. But yeah, we've actually had 2 work days the past 2 Saturdays.
Great.
So we always welcome those. Try to have groups of at least 10 in order to make a Saturday work day, to make it worthwhile as far as having my employee to come in, because we don't pay overtime, can't afford it. So if he takes and has to work on a Saturday, we try to make sure that he gets a day off through the week. And that's kind of difficult when we have kids on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then we have probation and parole a lot on Thursdays, and we get a group from the state hospital on Fridays. So as you can well see, that leaves us Tuesdays.
Yeah. Very good. Linda, anything else we need to cover before we let you go today?
I just want to thank you for having us out here. It's a great opportunity. We don't have an advertising budget. I want to thank you all for what you do. And I notice that every time I hit the like button, it tells me I'm a top fan. So
yeah.
Well, we appreciate that.
You're welcome. So yeah, I want to appreciate what you guys do for us in the community, because it was hurtful when we lost our local broadcasting company. And I know that we still have another in the area who are super good to us, B104 Radio.
Absolutely.
But yeah, just want to say thank you for what you guys do. I'm sure there's something else you'd like to be doing on an early Saturday morning. Maybe not.
Rather than recording you, no way.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Linda,
and you
appreciate
get Morgan
it.
out here, and she's amazing. So thank you, Morgan, for being here.
Hey, you made her blush. That's hard to do. Very
I think it's
good.
the lighting.
Linda, always good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, that's Linda Dickerson, Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity of St. Francis County. Heimberger Construction, heimbergerconstruction.com. Since 1978, they've been putting together fantastic buildings around the parkland. You can see them, and they have a secret weapon when it comes to their buildings, and a fine organization that helps there.
Well, one of their secret weapons is Jennifer herself.
Right, yes.
She is awesome and amazing, but they also specialize in Butler buildings. They are the best metal building systems on the market, the only buildings that have a pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. And I am sure if you travel around the area, you're going to see a Heimberger-built building.
Mocap in Park Hills and Farmington, Griffin Automotive in Bonne Terre, Legacy Products in Bonne Terre, Paramount Glass, the expansion in Park Hills, Crown Valley Winery, just to name a few. Their website's beautiful, heimbergerconstruction.com. Give Jenny a call today, 431-4387.
Good people to work with.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
Let's talk about pharmacy-ing with the two people that I think know the most about pharmacy-ing. We have joining us from Parkland Pharmacy, Debbie Hamby and Lisa Umfleet. Ladies, thanks so much for joining us and putting up with my corny joke.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Thanks for having us.
Oh man, there's so much going on at Parkland Pharmacy these days, but I think, Debbie, let's kind of start out with just all the wonderful things that Parkland Pharmacy does besides what everybody kind of understands real well, and that's prescriptions. There's so much more.
There is a lot more to pharmacy than prescriptions, especially at Parkland Pharmacy. So we're doing lots of things like immunizations. We have medical equipment that we deal with. We have people who help in our stores with Medicare D stuff. We have nurses who help with blood pressure and blood sugar checks and health questions. And then we just have fun products in our store and incredible staff that likes to take care of people.
I'm glad you mentioned the staff, and I want you to talk more about that. But first and foremost, thank you for being sponsors of the Parkland podcast. Yeah. We really appreciate it.
We are very honored to do so. Absolutely. You guys are doing a great job.
Your folks at your pharmacies, and I go mainly to the Farmington one, are just so darn friendly. I may be in a real bad mood when I go in, but I always leave in a much better mood, and a lot of that has to do with the people that work for you.
We really do have a great team, and I know you are familiar with Judy Boring, and she's one of our community health workers. We have several community health workers on staff, and they really go above and beyond. They're able to get out in the community and work the health fairs and find resources for people that may just kind of fall through the cracks and not have access to that. So I want to make sure and give a shout out to them as well. But yeah, we have some great staff, some nurses that are with us, and they really take the extra time, do those blood pressure, blood sugar readings, any extra help that a patient may need.
Yeah.
And your kind of focus with your business is if there's someone who is an expert in this field, you bring them in, like Judy, who did a lot of that work back in the day for USA Drug, and I know there's a lot of other people that you brought on that had that previous experience in that facility, and some of the other pharmacies around. Mm-hmm. You guys do a great job, I think, of bringing in like the top people, because you know that's going to make your customer service that much better.
We work really hard at trying to find the best of the best in this area, and I think we have succeeded in that a lot. We do have people like Judy and some of our other technicians who've been in the business in other places for a very long time, and we've been so blessed to add them to our staff, and it just makes us even stronger in being able to focus on the care that we want to deliver to people.
Yeah, their experience, their years of experience are just invaluable, so we are very blessed to have them.
Let's do a little history now from Parkland Pharmacy. How long have you been around? Where are your locations? And are you kind of strategically located where you're located at?
So we started in 2005 with the Deloge location. That was just myself and my husband, Marty. And then over the years, we've expanded with partners. So that started out just working with Debbie. She introduced Jeremy to us. Jeremy Leach is our owner at Fredericktown. And then we expanded into Ironton and Piedmont. And somewhere along the way, we picked up Julie Brokehouse with the Farmington location. So there's a group of us. And then we just also have a really great, like I mentioned, our whole team, our staff. So we're up, and then we expanded to Greenville also.
Right.
Did I leave anyone else out?
I think you covered them all.
Covered everybody. So we picked up Greenville, which is a remote telepharmacy. So there's not a pharmacist there full time. It's all kind of monitored through technology. So, virtual counseling and that type of thing, virtual verification. And that's something new to that the Board of Pharmacy allows in Missouri now within the last couple years, which brings pharmacy to underserved areas. So that's pretty exciting new opportunity for us. So that brings us up to 6 locations.
Yeah. And if you do your math, the Deloge store will be celebrating 20 years in 2025. So
I'll bet there's something special lined up for
hopefully
that.
we can have a big birthday bash.
Yeah.
Wow, that'll be really cool. As we know, flu season is making its way in. Talk a little bit about flu shots and basically how I guess we get ourselves winterly prepared.
Sure. Yeah, it is flu shot season. We're also doing COVID boosters. So that's the Spikevax Moderna that we have in stock at our pharmacies. We're out and about in the community doing clinics at many businesses, many nursing homes, long-term care facilities, schools, you name it, we're there. If patients are interested in getting a vaccine, they can just call the pharmacy and get an appointment. Appointments aren't required, but they do speed things up, so that way we can have insurance process paperwork ready and minimize your wait time. I think that pretty well covers it. I mean, there's just, 'tis the season. I know everyone's not excited about getting vaccines, but when you have some of the population that are at a higher risk, especially these facilities, it's really important. They're in close quarters. So we're also doing shingles, RSV vaccines, and pneumococcal pneumonia.
What have you heard about flu season yet, if anything, about how severe it's going to be?
I have not. No, I think it's maybe a little too early to predict.
Have you ever been administering someone a shot, like in a interview setting, and you notice something strange about their wardrobe?
Oddly enough, it was crazy. I was giving this guy a shot on air, and I noticed his shirt was inside out.
Gee, I wonder who they could be talking about here.
Nice segue.
Yeah.
How'd that? Where was this, Mark? Give us some context.
This is the J98 Studios, and boy, she let me go through the whole thing, gave me the shot, used the big needle. I might have.
Yeah.
And said, by the way, did you know your shirt was on inside out? Oh, I guess it was.
You do get up really early for that job.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about radio.
Yes. Debbie, we kind of touched on it briefly, but I want to ask you about, because you can kind of see it, those of you that are watching the podcast on YouTube. Not just a pharmacy, you have some very cool, very interesting items that are for sale at the pharmacy.
Yeah, we like to find some fun things to have in the stores, and we feature those online too. So the basketball and the little apple guy there, and then the cute little black lab puppy. Those are called warmies, and if you've never heard of a warmie, they're filled with a little bead material. You can stick them in the microwave and heat them up for a few seconds, and they just provide a lot of comfort. A lot of kids like to snuggle with them.
Lucy loves hers.
They're also great for people in nursing homes. They make incredible gift ideas for people in nursing homes. You can also actually chill them and put them in your freezer and cool them down, so they can be warmies and coolies at the same time. But they're fun, and they come in all kinds of styles, all kinds of animals, and they've even started making basketballs. We have soccer balls. We have apples. We've got a few spiders. No, we got a few bats, I think, in the store right now
for Halloween.
Yeah. And then the little. And a funny-looking little eyeball. So
nice.
If you're into the Halloween stuff, come see us and check those out.
I see the Parkland Pharmacy vehicles out and about through town a lot. So you guys, I know you deliver for folks who can't make it in, but that's just an example of what you do for homebound patients.
Right. And I'll let Lisa, we do so much more than just that, so I'll let Lisa take that over.
Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to share with everyone is just one of the services that we offer that everyone in the community may not be aware of, and that's just, we call it Right at Home, and that's bringing the pharmacy services to the patient's home when the patient can't come to us. And it's really so much more than dispensing medication in bottles. It really starts with medication management, so we're just making sure that we're doing a comprehensive overview of their medication. We're delivering the medication, as you mentioned, and then we're packaging it, making sure they get the right medication at the right time. So kind of think of the pill planners, but a very customized pill pouch for that patient. And we know as patients transition in and out of the hospital, or maybe a rehabilitation facility, or maybe they have multiple prescribers, the cardiologist prescribes one thing and the primary the other, so we might have overlap or gaps in therapy. So we're just taking a look at that big picture and making sure that, we're reconciling that medication list, packaging what they need, and then we can also overlay the homebound immunizations on top of that. So looking at the clinical needs of the patient. Judy's really great at making sure our patients have a blood pressure monitor. So if they have hypertension, we want to make sure that they get access to a monitor in the house, and just anything else that they need, we try to meet their needs.
It's got to be challenging at times, as you mentioned, with you have a patient that has multiple specialists prescribing multiple different things. All of a sudden, they go from living at home to an in-care facility, and then they're back again. Tell us a little bit about how you guys keep up with all that, because that's got to be quite a challenge.
We have a team of people that do that, and in-house we call it eye care, and that's they are really focused on, they're using paper charts and they're making that list, and they're calling the doctors, they're calling the patient, and we're making sure that when it's time to package their medication, that we know exactly which medication they're supposed to be on and that it's in that package. And it does take a lot of work and phone calls, but it's one thing that our teams are really good at, and they are, this is their specialty. We want to continue serving those patients, and we know that need is only going to continue because the boomers are getting ready to start going into their 80s in 2025, and there's not enough long-term care facility beds, and so people are going to continue, as we call it, aging in place, and so staying at home as long as possible. And if we can take that medication management piece, that burden off of the patient and the caregivers, then we've helped eliminate part of that problem.
I want to know why everybody looked at me when you said aging into their 80s. I'm nowhere near there yet. It just looks like it.
You're aging gracefully, Mark.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I would touch on also like the whole organizing people's medications. That's called MedSync. And so each of our locations has a technician who is called a sync coach, and they are dedicated to that program, and they're calling these people every month and making sure that there's no changes to their meds. They're contacting the doctors and making sure that all of that is in place so that we can be proactive about filling those meds for the patient, getting them either ready or delivered at the proper time. It saves the patient a trip to the pharmacy, multiple trips to the pharmacy, and it also helps us be proactive in how we manage workflow and makes us much more efficient at what we do.
So there's a benefit in that too, not
Absolutely.
just for the patient.
It's a win-win on both sides. And then I also would like to, we've talked about the community health workers, and we do have several of those now across our stores. The community health workers are not just there for your medication needs. They are there helping you find housing and helping you find assistance for food if you need it. There's so much more to that than just a healthcare standpoint. I mean, it's the total package. So we have great people like Judy, and we've got some others that are working and have already completed that training to be community health workers. And so that is a free service, and people probably don't realize that that's even available. So if you have a friend or a family member or even yourself that struggles with anything like that, just the basic needs of daily living, please come and talk to somebody and get the help. It's there and available for you at any time.
And along those lines, and going back to what we talked about earlier, I'm not a huge fan of corporate America. And one thing I love about Parkland Pharmacy is the same people you see in your store, you'll see at the grocery store, you'll see at church, you'll see at community events. You really are a hometown pharmacy.
Yeah, and that's something I always say, we get to do business our way, within, of course, the scope of pharmacy, pharmacy law. But it's nice to know that we have just a family atmosphere. It's a laid back atmosphere. We're very busy, don't get me wrong, but we have a lot that's going on at any given time. But it's just a nice feeling, and you can get anything and everything from us that you would expect to get from a corporate, and then so much more on top of that.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of legislation, or is this something that we need to continually speak to our representatives about, as far as making sure that there's a fair playing field for a business like you? And I don't mean to pick on Walgreens, but Walgreens. Is that something that our listeners can do to maybe let people know that, hey, we like dealing with people like you because we know you're going to take much better care of us?
Yeah, that's a good point. And there really are a lot of challenges in community pharmacy, independent pharmacy especially. There's a lot of legislation out there right now, more than ever, in D.C., really looking at fair practices. So, the PBMs that manage the pharmacy networks don't always play nice with independent pharmacy. And so those are challenges we face every day. And so we do see some hope potentially with the legislation that could provide some relief. But yeah, it's tight. And there are patients that we would love to take care of that we can't just because of the insurance restrictions or mail order requirements. So we have those challenges every day, but we also find the patients that we can serve, and we just try to serve them to the best of our ability. But yes, there's those challenges are getting more and more difficult every year. But we just keep, I do advocate on the pharmacy side and involved with the associations, and I appreciate Dale Wright and Mike Henderson in some of their efforts just at the state level in helping with some of the pharmacy legislation that has been passed.
So is there any chance, Debbie, down the road, maybe with your 25th anniversary or your 20th anniversary
yeah.
in Deloge, like if you buy so many prescriptions or so many over-the-counter drugs, you can get a free caricature from your husband?
We might be able to work something out there. Right. Yeah.
Bob, if you're watching this, now you know. You've been voluntold.
Plug out to Bob Hamby Art. Yeah.
That's right.
He is talented.
Resident caricature artist. Debbie, you go to a lot of different conferences throughout the year, and I know you're a student of social media. You enjoy the marketing side of your job a lot. Kind of maybe like a little off pharmacy question, but like business people that listen to this podcast, what's some good advice for social media? Some things that you've learned over the years that you've seen that work well?
Oh gosh, my time has been very restricted because I do a lot of HR stuff these days.
Right.
I still do get into the marketing stuff and would love to be even more involved. It's just I need a couple extra days in my week right now.
It's that 9-day week.
Yeah, exactly. But the biggest thing that I've always believed about social media is to definitely keep it social. Mm-hmm. Yes, we want to advertise the business and what we do for people, but we also want them to see the human side of us. And so featuring, every month we feature our hero of the month. Mm-hmm. And those get such huge response from people, so many likes and comments and shares. And they keep us human in front of the community and show the faces of the people who are working for us. But it also does such good to promote goodwill to our employees and shows them such appreciation. And so just featuring things that are going on in our stores, the events that are happening, the fun products that we sell, we just try to keep it fun and social at all times. So that's been my biggest takeaway.
Well, speaking of juggling acts, Lisa, you're doing one too. In addition to running the pharmacy, you also are on the MAC Board of Trustees, and y'all have been doing a lot lately.
It's been pretty busy. There's a lot going on campus. Getting the bond issue passed was really great for the community. And if you haven't been on campus lately, you need to go out there and see the MAC Tech building. What's happening with the sports field. So yeah, a lot of exciting things.
That building is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh my! Yeah. The soccer fields, everything out there is amazing.
Yeah.
Very good. So once you guys get past, I guess the winter preventative with flu shots, what's next on the horizon? What then becomes the big focus of Parkland Pharmacy taking care of the patients?
We actually need a breather.
Yeah, I bet.
Flu season and the holidays combined is just kind of a really intense mix, I guess you would say. So those winter months is mostly probably about managing people who have the colds and the flu and possibly COVID and just trying to take care of them and offer them the right products and just giving us a chance to evaluate and see what we want to do or accomplish for the coming year is always a nice opportunity for us to have just a little breathing room. So
then I think, I think in January we just hold our breath for the snow days and the ice because we still have patients, especially during those times, that need delivery. Sure. And it always, makes things a little bit crazy. And our stores are, all the way down to Piedmont up to Deloge. And so one store may have to close early for an ice storm and the other one's open. So Debbie's trying to manage the communication side of that.
Right.
And then we're trying to keep our drivers safe safe. And we have an amazing delivery driver staff. I just want to give a shout out to them as well.
Oh,
And
for sure.
They really love their jobs. And, we're doing some after hours things, servicing some local hospice organizations. And they have really stepped it up, and they just love to serve. So we're really fortunate to have them.
Yeah, incredible. They care so much for their patients, and it shows.
That's great. And, another thing, too, closing down during those times, yes, but because people know, oh, man, the ice storm's coming, I need to make sure I get my meds. Those days before, usually, there's quite the uptick, too, right?
There can be, for sure, yeah.
And of course, January, everyone gets new insurance and panics.
Yeah,
and it has to meet their deductible. So really, that's what's next. Is we all just try to survive January. And that's pretty much what happens.
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah. Social media, website. How do people find out more about Parkland Pharmacy?
Yeah. ParklandRx.com is our website. You can go there and find all kinds of information. You can apply for a job with us online. Hey. You can register for nursing classes online. If you need a level 1 med aid training or a CPR certification, we have those. You can find out all about our services online. Go find us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram mostly, parklandrx.com and parklandrx on the socials. Before I let you go, I want to touch on those skinny syrups.
Oh, yes.
Because those have
absolutely.
kind of been like our hottest seller.
Yes.
They fly off the shelves. And so what skinny syrups are, I think people get a little confused about what they actually are. They are completely sugar-free, but the taste is amazing. There's so many different flavors now. And what you have, Mark, is the one called Ghostly. It's for fall, and it just tastes like it's got a candy flavor. And if you swirl it around, it's got edible glitter inside of it. So it has this funky little glow to it. Yeah.
Whoa. That's how they made Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Wow.
But you add those to drinks. You can add them to waters. You can add them to iced tea,
coffee,
hot chocolates. You can even put them in puddings and yogurts, and some people bake with them. So the uses for them are kind of wide open. Just use your imagination. But we have so many different flavors. They're all at every single location that we have. We give them away once in a while. I'm giving some to you to give away to your watchers and listeners. So
coming up,
be watching for your opportunity, folks. Yeah, and the same with the Warmies. We do some Warmie giveaways, and we will do some of those pretty soon as well.
Always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
When are the superheroes coming back?
Oh my gosh! You know, I do get
Fantastic Four, right?
It was the Farmtastic Four.
Yeah.
We had kind of a cult following with those guys.
Yeah.
It gets a little harder. We've had people leave, and some people are just tired of being a superhero. Marty gets super nervous about it. Yeah, Marty and the tights don't mix so well some days.
Well, you bring in the multiverse, and then you just have like a brand new whatever Marty was.
Farmtastic Four 2.0 or something.
Right, yeah. They could be like 4 completely new people, and but they're the same because, we just got to make the writing work.
Are you applying for the job?
I mean,
he's auditioning.
You guys have seen me dress up and become a character to promote your businesses before, and I think I have a pretty good track record with it, I think.
Could be onto something here.
I don't know.
You bring them in, we'll dress up in them.
There we go.
For the podcast.
Oh, man.
You may not realize what you've asked for. But I might just take you up on it.
Absolutely. That would be a lot of fun. That would be great. Anything else we need to cover before we let you two go today?
Oh, gosh.
I can't think of anything. We just really appreciate the opportunity to come on this platform. It's really exciting.
If you guys have never tried, anybody out there has never tried Parkland Pharmacy, give us a shot. We promise we'll take good care of you.
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. This has been so much fun. I really appreciate you guys coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Honored to do so.
All right. Debbie Hamby, Lisa Umfleet, Parkland Pharmacy. They do small town pharmacy at its finest. They are one of our best sponsors, and they're joining us here now on the Parkland Podcast. Subway allows you to eat fresh with their delicious fresh menu. Subway of the Parkland has 3 great locations to serve you in Deloge in the Walmart Supercenter, downtown Park Hills, and in Farmington in the Maple Valley Center. Mark, you love almost everything at Subway, and you love the service too.
That's what I love most of all with Heather and Jessica, Brianna and Courtney, Mike and Jake. You did great when you hired those 4 young ladies especially. They greet you with a smile. They remember your order. And I've been told that soups will be coming back, soups and chili. To the Subway stores here as fall gets here, and I can't wait for that. It is one of my favorite places to go, just not only for the food, but for the people that work there.
Subway of the Parkland.
Eat fresh.
Eat fresh. Farmington, Maple Valley Center, downtown Park Hills, and Subway in Deloge. Eat fresh. Subway sponsoring the Parkland Podcast. Save-A-Lots of the Parkland. They're in Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. And in addition to saving you money on your grocery bill, which we all need right now, they got a really cool promotion that they just started.
It's on their Facebook page. They are introducing Save-A-Lot Rewards. Download the new app to earn dots and save lots at participating locations. And there are all kinds of reasons to go to the Save-A-Lot Facebook page. I am on it right now, as a matter of fact. They invite you to stop by, check it out, and save on every day that ends in Y.
Oh, wow. I think that's every day.
That is every day. Shop the dot with Save-A-Lot.
I love going to Save-A-Lot and checking out all the unique grocery items they have there. And the 5 for $24.99. Been trying to mix it up a little bit, but I always come back to the popcorn chicken and the chicken fries. I think my kids could eat that any day of the week that ends in Y. But I always am able to save money at my local Save-A-Lot store. And you can too. They're in Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. And they sponsor the Parkland Podcast.
Thank you.
Time to do some music now on the Parkland Podcast. We give you a song and an album each week, and we talk about how awesome they are. Mark Toti, what's your awesome song pick for the week?
My song of the week is J.D. Blackfoot's The Song of Crazy Horse.
Oh, boy.
It is awesome. It's about 20 minutes long, but well worth the listen. Had the pleasure of interviewing J.D. Blackfoot once. He came by the radio station, brought me by an autographed copy of his double live album. But man, The Legend of Crazy Horse is just one of the best songs ever. Love it to death.
Either the jacket or the backside of that album has a picture of him wearing a KC95 t-shirt.
I don't doubt that. He was huge in St. Louis. There were some places that J.D. Blackfoot would go, and he was as big as anybody. St. Louis, one of those places, real big in San Francisco. Other places, they barely knew who he was. But that's the way it goes in music. But that's my song.
Okay.
And my album comes from the group Styx. It's the Equinox album.
Hold that cover up. It's lost in the apples.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to miss the apples. You can miss me, but not the apples. There are some great songs on there like Light Up Everybody and Lorelei. But without a doubt, my favorite Styx song is Prelude 12 and Sweet Madam Blue.
Ooh.
Such a good song, which makes this probably my favorite Styx album of all time. Check it out, Equinox. You won't be disappointed.
Did you ever see Styx live?
Did not, but I've seen a couple of biographies about them. Tommy Shaw and Dennis DeYoung and some of the other guys from the band. Didn't realize they're pretty much getting ready for like a 50-year anniversary of Styx.
Oh, really? So they've buried the hatchet and they're getting along again?
Well, no, Dennis DeYoung's, he's no longer a part of it. They brought in another guy that is their lead singer, but they're still out. They're still touring. And they're getting ready for 50 years.
Very cool. All right, so I'm going to give you a song of the week from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Lucky Man, which was their first release. And I learned this by listening to our good friend Randy Raley on his Rock and Roll Morning Show. Greg Lake wrote this song when he was 12 years old.
How about that, huh?
Yeah.
One of my favorite Emerson, Lake and Palmer songs.
Absolutely. And I got to introduce it to the kids. We listened to it on the way to school. And when it first started out, Lucy's like, turn the station down. I'm like, nope. You need to learn this as part of your rock and roll appreciation experience. And by the time the song was over, all three kids dug it.
They were jamming.
They were jamming to it.
Lucky man.
One of the earliest instances of the Moog synthesizer that part. They loved that part.
Yeah, that's a great tune. Can't say it's my favorite Emerson, Lake and Palmer song, but it's right up there.
What is?
Well, there's From the Beginning.
Yeah.
There's Hoedown.
Yeah, the Hoedown is such a cool song.
There's Welcome Back, My Friends, to the show that never ends.
That's Carnival 9 is the name of that one, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great tune, too. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, very underrated band. And another band from that same vein, I borrowed this album from Mark Toti, but it is so awesome. It is the Yes album. And for me, I mean, I like 80s Yes, don't get me wrong. Owner of a Lonely Heart's a cool song, but this is for me whenever the band was at their coolest, and it has my favorite all-time Yes song on it. I've seen all good people turn their heads each day, so satisfied I'm on my way.
I've seen them in concert.
Oh, my gosh, wow.
I was just a kid at the time. I was like 17, 18 years old. And Donovan opened up.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was a great show.
Wow.
But sitting right in front of me in the next row was Ted Simmons, the Cardinals catcher.
Really?
Yes. He had a cast on his foot, but when they played, I've seen all good people, and they got to rocking, Ted Simmons was up on his chair, and he had that cast on his foot, kicking up and down.
Wow.
It was great. Keith Hernandez came up in between Donovan and Yes, and we all got to talk, and a guy who pitched for the Cardinals back in the day, Eric Rasmussen, was also there.
Yes, I remember him.
So, yeah.
Wow.
One of my favorite concert moments.
No doubt. That was super cool. So you got to hang out with Keith Hernandez?
So I did not so much Keith, but Ted Simmons.
Ted Simmons.
We actually talked a little bit. Yeah.
Wow. Super cool. Hall of Famer.
Yes,
Ted
indeed.
Simmons. That is very, very cool. So you get a bonus sports story on your music segment as well. Mark, who do we have coming up on next week's show?
Next week's show, we are scheduled to have the man, the myth, the legend, Jim Gerwitz from Mineral Area College joining us, and the new director of the United Way of St. Francis County, Suzanne Baker, will be with us to tell us a bit about herself and her visions for the United Way.
Very, very cool stuff. That'll be episode 20. Holy cow, Mark Toti. How about that? So that's going to do it for episode 19. Hope you have a great week. Remember, like, subscribe, download, and tell all your friends about the Parkland Podcast.